The World Summit on the Information Society is an annual award event coordinated by the International Telecommunications Union, affiliated with the United Nations in collaboration with UNESCO, UNDP, and other UN affiliates to promote ICTs for achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals. Here to explore the significance of this award and the implications on Trinbago's future, World Summit Award National Expert for Trinidad and Tobago, Gia Gaspard Taylor, joins us on the Now Morning Show, along with Angelina Sydney Ali, sorry for putting that middle name out there, the World Summit Award Youth Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies, good morning, and let me virtually welcome you to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having us. And good morning to Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, simply put, the summit is a unique award system and selecting, promoting, or rather, digital innovations to improve society. What are the benefits to this country if we were to select those sorts of persons and, well, concepts?
I think that we are very fortunate in Trinidad and Tobago in that we are given the opportunity to participate and join in this global network where we have the opportunity not only to participate with the unique award system selected for promoting local digital innovations to improve our society and also to work with the United Nations' 17 Sustainable Development Goals. For us in Trinidad and Tobago, we have been quite fortunate in that we have had winners in the past, and only last year we had two representatives who formed the semifinals. Um, Fishermen and Friends was one of them, working on the environment, and our very own Angelina, who went with us to Mexico, to Puebla in Mexico, where she emerged as our new youth ambassador. So that for Trinidad and Tobago, it is a continuing and ongoing series of international events and activities with a global network that works with startups in entrepreneurial development, government agencies, leaders, academics, and of course, civil society. So it gives us the opportunity to participate with the Sustainable Development Goals. Only recently, the United Nations Secretary General and our own ambassador to the United Nations indicated that the Sustainable Development Goals was halfway through and we seem to have lost our way. So it's an opportunity for us to find our way here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Get
And
back
that,
on track.
in a nutshell, gives us the opportunity to participate in the 9 categories.
Well, speaking of those categories, can you give us a little insight as to what they are?
Well, the 9 categories begin first of all with business and commerce. This includes innovative systems and, of course, marketing, just to name a few. The second is government and citizens engagement, where we can work with, for example, the elections that just passed. We may have somebody who is involved in that because the democratic participation countries is involved as well.
Right.
Health and wellness is another one of the categories where we look at sporting events, we can look at lifestyles, we can look at the medical area, just to name a few. The fourth area is learning and education, the knowledge system, sciences, skills. All of these things are available to us here in Trinidad and Tobago. The fifth is the environment and green energy, where we work with the climate change, which is current, it not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the world, and agriculture. We have the culture and heritage. We just celebrated our World Steel Band Day so that we can look at the subculture, for example, of steel band. And I also want to make mention here that the city of Port of Spain has been named by UNESCO as the city of music. So that is something that we can continue to develop and elaborate. We
Absolutely.
have
Nothing too surprising there, though, is it really? I, w- I want to switch gears a
the
little
city of
bit
music.
to Angelina, because you would
Okay,
have
let me
been,
just mention one
by all
more of
means.
the categories, which is inclusion and empowerment. And this deals directly with gender and human rights. And of course, we can now move on to Angelina because the next category is that of youth
Right.
innovators.
And it still augurs well because we also talked about, well, gender specific ideas. And Angelina, as a person who is under the age of 26, using ICTs with strong digital components and that are already existing. It means that you're basically tasked with improving upon things that already exist. And I'm wondering if there is any developments that you can share with us that we might be leaning towards as the representative, at least.
Well, for the young innovators category, we're really looking for those individuals, as you said, that are under 26, and even when they're core members, if they have teams, need to be under 26 also. What we're looking at right now in terms of ICT would be apps. AI is very big right now. We're even looking at wearable tech. I was privileged enough to be part of the congress, sorry, we had in Puebla, and to see the other countries and the young innovators they had. Two which stood out for me, which are platforms we have here similarly, would be learning platforms. There's one in Africa called Skooks. And Skooks is basically they're marketing it as the Coursera for African kids. And the thing is, we have things like this within the Caribbean, especially Trinidad and Tobago. It's just finding those innovators and those young people.
Right. Now, that is also part of the responsibility you're tasked with, connecting and finding those innovators. So how do you propose you're going about that, rather?
Well, right now we've been using social media. We do have a local website. WSA has over 182 countries, and these countries produce their own websites that people could log on to and get information. We're also doing a lot of networking, that I would call it badgering, because we are reaching out to people and saying, hey, have you heard about this? Are you interested? Trying to make the process a little easier for them and more
Right.
approachable, because it is something fairly new to our society, at least.
Fair. And badgering isn't, so by all means, do what you must. And now, Gia, in terms of making those connections, in terms of taking it to the next step, one of the most significant things about these awards is the process being very, very extensive, very, very long. And so how can interested persons be invited to the next Global Congress? Working towards that end, what do we look for? When is it? Where is it? Give us the information so we can get more involved. And she doesn't have to badger
Okay,
anybody after that.
well, we continue with the badgering according to Angeline. And we are using this platform here today to reach out because it is absolutely necessary for us to be able to prepare our entries for the next global summit, which would be held in Patagonia in Chile. And in 2025, this is in 2024, and in 2025, it will be held in Germany. So for those who do not make it to Chile, they can prepare for Germany.
Germany.
We are also looking at the fact that 45 persons are selected, not only from Trinidad and Tobago, but from the 182 countries that are actively participating.
Right.
Of the 45, we may have semi-finalists, we may have runner-ups, and these people are invited to the Congress, expenses covered, of course. And we would want to ensure that we have participants that can join us in 2024 in Chile, where they'll have the opportunity not only to network globally, but to expand their knowledge about technology. Because one of the things that the WSA is looking at is futurizing, as they call it, the innovation society, the digital society. And as Angelina indicated, we have people here that are doing it. So it is our opportunity to reach out to them.
Sounds good. Well, in that case, let me let you get to it. There's a lot of work to be done, and you guys are doing an exceptional job. So let me say thank you to both you, Gia Gaspard Taylor, the expert this morning, joining us, taking some time out of your schedule to enlighten us and to help us along that journey. And to Angelina for representing us as the innovator. Best of luck with your badgering. And for those of you who want to become a part of the team, you can head over to their website, connect with them on social media, and let's get ready to bring these awards home again. Ladies, thanks again for joining us on the Now Morning Show.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
And hopefully you, our viewers, are inspired enough to stick around, because we've got even more things that you want to pay very close attention to happening here now. Well, at least after the break.